Welcome to CNN Student News, current events without commercials for middle and high school students. I'm Carl Azus. We start today in Somalia. It's located in eastern Africa. It's been very unstable in recent decades, though Somalia is in the process of building a federal republic. Somalia has been fighting a terrorist group called Al-Shabaab. It wants to turn the nation into a theocracy, a fundamentalist Islamic country. It has murdered dozens of civilians in attacks in East Africa. This week, the U.S. attacked Al-Shabaab. It's done that at least twice in the past year. Somali intelligence officials say Monday's airstrike, possibly by an American drone like this, hit a convoy of Al-Shabaab officials. The U.S. says it was targeting their leader. We don't know yet if he was killed. Meanwhile, news broke yesterday that another terrorist group we've been reporting on had killed an American journalist. This is the second time in a month that ISIS, Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, has brutally murdered a U.S. civilian who was abducted in the Middle East. It said it did it in response to U.S. airstrikes against ISIS in Iraq.
Just the facts. NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It has 28 member countries, and they're mostly European, though Canada and the U.S. are also members. NATO aims to protect these members through diplomacy and, if necessary, military action. It operates on the idea of collective defense. An attack on one NATO country is an attack on all of them.
Russia isn't part of NATO, but it borders several countries that are. That includes Estonia. It's a small nation of 1.2 million people. It's expecting Air Force One to fly in today. President Obama's visit is expected to show support for NATO and to send a message to Russia. Don't get involved in other neighboring countries like you have in Ukraine. The international community has accused Russia of supporting the rebels who are fighting Ukraine's government. Russia has denied this. But at a NATO summit later this week, leaders are expected to announce they're moving troops closer to Russia in Eastern Europe.
One of Russia's most frequently stated geopolitical concerns, and indeed one of its biggest justifications for its policies towards Ukraine, is NATO's eastward expansion. The belief that NATO has moved east, absorbing former Soviet states and satellites without pausing to think about Russia's own security concerns. So there can be little surprise that Russia is not happy with NATO talking about ramping up its activities in Eastern Europe with more exercises, a rapid response force, possibly pre-deploying assets and resources. Moscow says it will adjust its military planning accordingly.
The renewed focus on Russia's military started with its annexation of Crimea in southern Ukraine. But you should really look back 6 years ago to 2008 when Russia invaded another former Soviet state, Georgia. There's a view in Russia that that's when the world started taking Russia seriously again, because for years Russia had seen itself as being far behind, hopelessly behind the West in military terms, and that's a problem that Russia's leadership wanted to correct. In recent years, Russia has started what many military analysts call a massive rearmament. $730 billion over 10 years. In military terms, we're talking about 100 new warships, 600 new warplanes, 1,000 new helicopters to go along with what remains the largest nuclear arsenal in the world, larger even than the U.S. Now, the focus is not on another Cold War necessarily, really on what Russia calls the near abroad. Those are the former Soviet republics, like Ukraine, like Georgia, that Russia wants to expand, reassert its influence once again. And it feels it needs, in order to do that, to expand its military again. But you have to put this in a larger context. Today, Russia's military is about a fifth the size that it was during Soviet times. In terms purely of soldiers, there were 2 million soldiers in the Soviet army. There are about 800,000 in the Russian military today, but it has the intention of adding to those ranks, setting a goal of adding about 400,000 troops to the Russian military. What does this mean for U.S.-Russian military relations? Will it change the relationship? Very likely. And that is a risk that U.S. officials in the administration, in the State Department, and elsewhere are wrestling with today.
So we've got this segment called Roll Call. It's a chance to have your school announced on CNN Student News. There's now only one way to submit a request, and you need to be at least 13 years old. Go to cnnstudentnews.com, click where it says Roll Call, and leave a comment at the bottom of our transcript page. We'll pick 3 schools from each day's transcript. You can make one request every day, but spamming will not help you. Please tell us your school name, city, state, and mascot. Good luck. License plate scanners. They're intended to keep crime off the road. A police sergeant says you'll call them a success if your car's ever stolen and they help get it back. Civil liberties advocates say they could be an invasion of privacy if they're used to keep tabs on you wherever you drive. Some police departments delete the data they gather from them, some don't. All are hoping it'll curb crime.
Since the early 1990s, crime rates have steadily declined across the country. One possible explanation? Smarter, data-driven policing.
Here in Los Angeles, the LAPD is embracing new technologies and big data analytics like never before, changing the way we fight crime.
Watch Commander Sergeant Kennedy showed us how big data analysis is changing the force.
This is our license plate reader. We have 3 cameras attached to the light bar.
License plate readers installed on patrol cars have become commonplace, and they automatically scan every license plate they drive by.
It goes through the Sacramento database to check for California vehicle system to see if it's stolen or if there's a warrant on it for some reason. We got an alert. A $30,000 warrant. That was on the parked car that we just passed that's right behind us.
Over the course of a day, the LAPD can scan tens of thousands of license plates across the city. At the LAPD's Real-Time Analysis and Critical Response Division, those license plate scans are fed into a game-changing data mining system called Palantir, a powerful application that can claim the CIA as an early investor.
Palantir is a federated search system. It combines disparate data sets, allows us to access them very quickly. With a single keystroke, you get the effect of a 30-person task force.
After searching over 100 million data points, Palantir displayed an impressive web of information on one burglary suspect, creating intuitive graphs linking him to cell phone numbers, arrest records, known associates, and past addresses. They could even track the suspect's past locations based on previous license plate scans.
If we are searching for him, we don't have to search all of LA County. We know where he frequents.
Anybody who is a vehicle owner is then in Palantir?
Anybody who's a vehicle owner in a public place and has passed a license plate reader will be in our data set. We cannot just go searching for you or anyone else without a reason, because we have a lot of data for people who've done nothing.
For those people who've done nothing, the ACLU of Southern California believes the LAPD's license plate readers may be violating civil liberties.
A system of license plate readers that's pervasive enough to really track the movements of every car in the city in reasonable detail would effectively substitute for GPS trackers for everybody. The public should be the ones deciding what the proper balance is between their privacy rights and their public safety.
The LAPD believes the public wants Palantir on its side.
You want to have the effect of 30 detectives working that burglary or that auto theft. It is hugely important to make those cases solvable.
Quick, what's the capital of Malaysia? Here's a hint. It leads off today's roll call. It's Kuala Lumpur, and it's where you'll find the International School of Kuala Lumpur, which happens to watch CNN Student News. To the U.S. Northeast, we're happy to be online at Newport Middle School. The Tigers are watching in Newport, New Hampshire. And in neighboring Massachusetts, we've got the Panthers. Good to see y'all at the Presentation of Mary Academy in Methuen. Bonneville, Utah. If you're looking to set a land speed record on wheels, the Salt Flats are a great place to do it, especially in a tub like this. It's a classic Cadillac. It's a hot tub. It may just be the world's fastest hot tub. The car weighs 4,600 pounds, but when you fill it with heated, jetted water, it's 9,000 pounds of relaxing racing. After 6 years of construction, its owners believe they've set the speed record at 55 miles per hour. Hey, whatever floats their boat. The idea certainly holds water. The jets give it that extra boost. It certainly sailed through that quarter mile, and it's stocked with heated seats. Better wash out, because in a word, it's the ultimate carpool. I'm Carl Azus. This is CNN Student News.